Good day to you, partner. I'm Guy, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp.
Hey guys, Wheat Solo here, aka the Skeleton King. I just want to bring up one quick point. Don't give me advice about how to make my videos, because I'm not going to listen to it. Just go to another streamer, go to another YouTube channel. It's real quick. All you got to do is just click YouTube and search for somebody else. Okay, on to the bullet points. By the way, I do bullet points because I like bullet points sometimes, because in case someone out there knows as much as I do and is looking for an update about a particular topic, they can kind of put two and two together. So I'm going to keep doing the bullet points, so then for anybody who wants the breakdown, they can stay for the video, because that to me is pretty reasonable. Fire golems suck. Revives still suck. Don't get IK set. Training set is Vex tops. Early season gearing is about finding good deals, not forcing BIS. Fire golems were nerfed 40% the day before he released the patch and after beta players were no longer able to test it. I think it was for one, it was too much of a nerf because the build is no longer viable at in-game in any sense of the imagination. In fact, I'd argue it was never viable in-game because of how much it cost for not even being the best summoning build. As you can see from the video I put up, Skelly plus Curses was clearing T3s faster with much cheaper gear. I hope Senpai never does a nerf like that again, to where everybody is so excited about something for a particular use and then nerfs it without giving anybody numbers at least. Like if he had just said it's going to be 1.2k Holy Fire instead of 2k, we all could have gone, wow, it's probably going to be just good enough for Hell. And that's what it turns out to be. It's still great for Nightmare. There's no quicker way to get through Nightmare than Fire Golems. Maybe Wake of Fire is quicker because Asses are so fast, but it's great. And it's still good for no gear hell farming. I would just recommend going clay or staying skellies, but it's up to you. Do not go double golem builds or full golem builds. Why? 20 points in the fire golem buffs clay golems by 500 damage each. A little less than that, but just for easy numbers. So that means all 5 of your golems are now hitting 500 harder. That's 2,500 more damage. They are attacking a bit slower than 1 second until you get fanaticism buffs. So let's just say you do 2,500 more DPS with all 5 golems together. If you got a level 20 amp damage, minus 33 is the floor for almost every hell enemy for fizz damage reduction. Most are at minus 50 or above. Most. That means if you got 20 points in the amp damage, your golems would generally be doing 20,000 more damage instead of 2,500 more damage. Pretty easy, right? Even if it was just minus 33, because you cannot take resistances below 0 for enemies in PD2, you would still be doing about 7,000 more damage. Which, think about this, what about just the extra minus 20 from Curse Mastery? How much would that help you? Well, a lot of enemies actually have even a little bit higher than 50. So let's say if an enemy had 60 and you had minus 70, you would now be doing I think about 12,000 more damage. And if an enemy actually had minus 70 and you got the full benefit from it, then the damage of your clay golems would go from a paltry 6,000 to 20,000, a 14,000 damage increase. That's why double golem builds don't make sense. Either go full fire and go full lower resist curse mastery, or go full clay and go full amp full curse mastery. If you ever run into immunes, just skip them. Revives still suck. They might be worth 1 hard point, but they get stuck on each other. I don't like them. Do not suggest to people to play a Skelly Revive Desecrate build, because that would be awful. In fact, even for poison, revives still suck. For one, poison never needed revives anyway, and now that they do such low single target damage, they have no viable use in the game. The skill is poorly designed, it's being more poorly designed in PD2, and as of now, there is no way to make it work other than one hard point, but I choose not to use it because they're very awkward. Don't get the IK set. But I thought you said get the IK set. I want to apologize about suggesting that, because the most important thing about the early season is about getting good deals, not forcing BIS. For instance, if you find the Jaw rune, instead of trading it for a Shaco, trade it for a +1 train chest if you're a summoner. Do you know why? +1 train chest is BIS, Shacos aren't BIS. In fact, Shacos are BIS for very few builds except for MFing builds. I don't even think if you're just going to use a character for MFing, paying a Jaw for a Shaco is worth it. Because you could pay a Jaw right now and probably get a perfect Ashudas. Because no one has enough money to pay more for one, right? So just keep that in mind. Think of the idea of a lower market where, the supply of certain items is so low, their prices are high, while the demand for certain higher tier items is low enough that their prices are actually deflated. So look for the deflated prices, not the inflated prices. My suggestion, just craft in Blood Gear. Now, if you actually have most of the IK set and you see a game that says IK chest for Vex, I would take it. Would I take one for a Hyrule? No. Would I take it for an Ohm? That's up to you. If you think it's worth an Ohm, go ahead and get it. To me, if you got the whole IK set for about an Ohm, I think you're doing fine. Don't stress about it too much. The most important thing is going faster, clearing faster, getting more loot. Training set is Vex tops. Gloves are a Lem. Armor is a pull. Helm is an Shield is a Maul. Belt is an Ist. Those prices are going to change. The belt is going to get a lot cheaper. The shield is always going to be about an or a Mao. The helm's going to get cheaper. Basically, every piece at some point is going to be worth 1 Worldstone shard, except for the shield, which will always retain some value because people want to core either 2 sockets or +1 on it. But the belt, even though it's popular for certain players, it's just common enough and the range of cores is low enough that it's not that big of a deal. Here's an example of how I used early season prices to gear myself without finding any item. I bought an Arm of King Laric for a Gull. I traded that for an Ohm and an Ist. I traded my Ohm for an Arm of King Laric and a Gull. By the way, both arms were perfect. So now, I still have an Arm of King Laric, but I have a Gull and an Ist. I traded 2 Necro Summon GCs for a puzzle box, just random game, said 2 end sums for P-Box. I traded that P-Box for 2 goals. Now, even if Necro Summons are an Ist, which I think is a stretch, they're Maul to Ist. If you pay a Maul, nice. If you pay an Ist, still nice. Don't stress about it. So now, I'm up a Gull and 2 Ist runes. During the course of the day, I traded those Gull and those 2 Ist runes for 5 more Necro Summon Skillers and a pair of Marowaks. For instance, at one point I bought a P&B Skiller for an rune, and then traded that for a Necro Summon Skiller, and then I think I did that twice, and then I even got a P&B for a Mao, I think, and got an End Sum for that P&B. And then I just bought 2 End Summon Skillers. I think I actually bought one for an Ist because it had 33 life, blah 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 blah. That's how you can use the strange set of circumstances all players find themselves in, where you're not out there trying to force what you want. You're out there going, hey, for the price, I can still use this, and it's a good deal. Alright guys, have fun. The new season's exciting. I am a little upset about the fact he deleted our characters, but we'll talk about that in another video. Skeleton King out. GG.